Greetings, everyone. I salute you with my face and my heart in unity. This time I'm going to give you a very powerful information about the archetypes of the Tarot and the Toltek archetypes called Tonalpowali. This is a very powerful message that is going to teach you how to transit, how to walk on the path of the self-transformation that we call the path of the warrior, the path of the magician. And this path begins in the state of consciousness to realize where exactly where we are living on. The point is be very honest and start to realize that we came here to this simulator, this holographic realm, in a very low state of frequency and consciousness, actually with no consciousness. And the cards of the Tarot is very useful to understand this path of self-transformation. It's a code with the instructions of the game that we call Tonali Matrix. So the first card that we have is not the number one, but is where we are located. As soon as we're born, we're going to start from there. That's the starting point of most of the people of this planet. There is the card of the devil. And this card represents the illusion of separation, the lowest frequency, the density. And as you can tell, both humans are in chains. But these chains are not real. That's part of the trap. It's the jail of the mind. It's not a physical jail. Because the mind comes from the word in Latin mentis. Mentis is mentira in Spanish. Mentira is lie, the illusion, the duality, the separation, the density. So we were born there, only living, following the four neurocircuits: survival, food, sex, and language, and living like animals, following the desires and passions, fornicating, gluttony, drunkenness, and living for the materialism, and creating the illusion of separation between us and everything. And the Toltec tradition, that archetype, we're going to call it Tezcatlipoca, the smoke mirror, because our mirror has been veiled with fumes and smokes. Those veils are blocking our perception. We can project our own true self. We are projecting fake images, and also we can't perceive the real life here in this holographic realm. We are projecting deception. That's why we fall into the trap of illusion and separation. So that's the first starting point. And after that, we're going to pass to the next archetype, the card of the tower. As you can tell, the tower is tearing apart, is falling down, because it's the message that your beliefs or your belief system is time to fall, to break the illusion, because our lives are based in illusions, in lies, in the 5 paradigms. The paradigm of eating, religion, politics, economics, and pseudoscience. And we are just believing. So that's why we are going to receive a light bulb from the highest consciousness, and it's going to break the illusion of that tower. It's very necessary to start to wake up from the illusion of separation. And the tower, in the Toltek tradition, we're going to represent it with the archetype of Kiawitl, that it means rain, because rain is going to come to purify and clean up everything. It's necessary to clean, erase something that is not based in something true, something that has not foundations. And then we're going to be up and we're going to start with the archetype of the fool, but it's not a fool at all. It's representing the highest consciousness. That's where we are. That's where we want to get. That's the goal. Get again into the highest consciousness from the source. That is represented with this guy that is free and is playing in this video game with consciousness, connected with the highest consciousness, having fun, because now this character knows that we are in a video game, we are playing, we are players, that this is not true. In the Toltek archetype, we're going to use Tekpak, that means knife, and this knife is representing the highest consciousness, because the knife is going to connect with the highest consciousness, and also it's a tool that we're going to use to cut with the veils and open the ways with this, like a machete, cutting the illusion, the veils that are blocking our perception. And then we're going to start with the archetype of the magician that represents the consciousness. The magician is representing with Nawali in the Toltec tradition, and also represents Zipactli. Zipactli means dragon, because as you can tell in this card, the magician is using the elements in his table. He's an alchemist, because this character now is aware that he is going to start his path of self-transformation. That's the first step. Be aware that we need to change, to get out of that state of consciousness, of the lowest consciousness that we came from, all of us, from the devil. But now you are aware that you want to change, that you want to becoming a better version, leaving behind everything that is going to anchor us to the density. And that's the first step when you realize that you're a magician and you have to use the elements of nature with consciousness. And also eliminate the concept of time. Here, living in synchronicity. Synchronicity means sin chronos in Spanish. Sin without chronos, time. Not time. You are here using your own energy, interacting with nature, and now you are aware. You are in your consciousness that you want to make or perform a real change in your life. And the archetype is Zipactli, the dragon, because the dragon represents the 4 elements. Fire, air, because this dragon can fly. Water, because this dragon can swim. And also the earth, because it's terrestrial. Zipactli means the first medicine, represents the seed that you're going to decide to grow every day, working in yourself. And then the second card is represented by the high priestess. Is representing the subconscious mind. That is going to teach you that you have to remain in the middle, because it's between 2 pillars. And the success of the life is to be neutral, in order to control the 4 neurocircuits. And we have to reorganize our subconscious mind, because that is everything. And how you're going to reorganize it? Organizing your conscious mind. Because the subconscious mind doesn't have a filter. So be aware of the things that you are listening, watching, eating. Because everything goes to the subconscious mind, and then you're going to project everything with no consciousness. That's the problem of this. And the archetype in the Toltek tradition that we call Kali. Kali, that means house. And also the house has pillars. So it's the same concept. Because the subconscious mind is the house of the memories and everything. That we have to keep it clean and in balance, always in the middle. The next one is the Empress. And the Empress represents the Mother Earth, represents all the nature that is going to tell you that nature is with you if you know how to interact with the powers of nature. The elements are going to be with you always if you are wise and you keep in touch with nature. It's the mother that is going to nourish everything. It's very important. That is, nature is going to nourish the magician with the elements. It's the cosmic mother that is going to connect with everything. In the Toltek tradition, we have the archetype of Malinali. Malinali means the grass that grows from the earth. It's telling you something about fertility. If you know how to sow the seed and you water the seed and grow it well, you're going to get the best results, because you are attached with the principles of nature. It's going to give you everything like a mother does with her child. So this is very important. Realize that we have to connect again with nature and with the elements again, and be in touch with the energy of the earth. with magnetism, and also earthing all the time. Go to the rivers, go to the mountain, to the beach, breathe earth, and be aware that we are nature itself. Emperor. The emperor means order. It's very crucial in your life. You have to start to put order in your life. It's the reason, the vision. But your vision needs to has order, discipline. This is very important. In the Toltek tradition, this archetype we call Quetzalcoatl, that means lizard. And the lizard means a new beginning, organize the energy, put order in the energy again. The next card is the Hierophant, the priest, the monk. That means the inner teacher, the wisdom inside of you. In the Toltec tradition, we call that a Hekat, that means wind, because the teacher needs to talk, to express, to teach with wisdom. And how we're going to acquire wisdom? With your own experience and listening to your own teacher. You are your own teacher, but you are not listening. And also the wind is the means that is going to move the resonance. It's going to move the sound of your word. That's why we have in the Toltec tradition the first agreement: be impeccable with your word, because your word is resonance, is resonating in the quantum field. So it's very important to order our words, speak with clarity, transparency, and give the order to the energy in order to channelize the energy. Or you have to bring order to chaos through your spoken word from your inner teacher, from your own wisdom. Remember, I ask you this question: who is moving your tongue? The larvatic body, the zombie, the mind, the illusion, or your soul, your heart, your true being? So this is very important. The next archetype is the lovers, that represents your spiritual body, in this angel representing, that comes from the highest consciousness. And is representing in this woman and this man, is representing Nawali, Tonali, the two energies that you have to incorporate and harmonize. So we have to reunite the highest consciousness through these energies to harmonizing the two polarities. This is very important. In the Toltec tradition, we have the archetype of Tochtli, that means rabbit. Because the lovers means also fertility. And rabbit is fertility also. You have to fertilize your life, your dreams. And also is going to teach you that you have to get out or escape from the state of fear, because rabbits are very scary animals. So control fear, and also listen yourself. That we have the ears, the rabbit's ears. You have to listen yourself, and you have the energy to fertilize everything in your life, organizing the two polarities through your spiritual body, connected with the highest consciousness. Then we have the car. And the car means the dominion of duality. As you can tell, the two things, now you're controlling duality. It's your senses, the control of your senses. You have to control yourself. Also means movement. In the Toltek tradition that we call all-in, movement. Because you have to move with wisdom and start to activate changes by movement. There's no other way. You have to move yourself. Now you're going to pass to the action, but with wisdom, in balance, and controlling duality. Then we have the force, representing with the lion and this woman. This is representing your sexual energy also. You have to control it. And everything in your life. In the Toltek tradition we have Ocelot or Tecuani, that means jaguar. Tecuani means literally the one who devours humans. But it's not literally. It's an allegory that your own desires, passions, and low frequencies are going to devour you if you are not be aware of the things that you have to change in your life. The jaguar is going to come and give you fire. It's going to hit you in order to make you understand. So you control your impulses, your triggers with force. And also you have to use the force of will in your life. That's very important. Once you are aware that you have to change, the second thing that you have to do is incorporate the force of will in your life in order to activate those changes, but with measure, here, with force. Then we have the card of the hermit. And that means that you have to be wise and start to embrace loneliness sometimes, because you have to get in your inner world in order to discover your own glow, your own light. That's why we have here the lamp that indicates that it's coming from your heart and also is connected with the highest consciousness. That is going to reflect that, and then it's going to send that light to the tower below in order to tear down this tower of illusion. And this archetype is going to help you to skip the wheel of cycles. In the Toltec tradition, we can relate it with the snake. That represents also the part of the cycles, duality. And also it's going to teach you that you have to get rid of old skin in order to elevate it and raise your frequency. Means also the regeneration. And then we're going to pass through the next stage, that is the wheel of cycles, that you need to escape from there quickly, because otherwise you're going to get trapped into this loop, infinity loop, in the samsara cycle, repeating all the time the same mistakes. So that's very important to understand that we have to use this wheel in order to turn our lives move this wheel into the 180 degrees to change the situation in your life that you need to change, but not in 360 all the time, in the samsara. In the Toltek tradition, we can make the comparison in another archetype that we call Koshkokautli, Sopilot, that is vulture. This vulture represents the ends of the cycles, because it's coming to finish everything that needs to be clean in the environment. It's an animal that is going to create life from death. It's the cleaner. So that's the message that you have to embrace, that you have to put death in the service to life and skip that wheel of cycles, of negative cycles. Learn from there. The next one is the justice. That is the cosmic justice. That is going to come to tell you that you have to use justice in your life. Adjust your energy, your feeding point in your life. Be straight and be justice with others. And also embrace this justice when it needs to give you a message that everything needs to be fair at some point, with balance. In the Toltec tradition, we have the archetype of Akatl. Akatl means like sugar cane. Straight. Be straight in your life and get balance. The cosmic justice. And also, it's going to align with the Emperor that brings you order in your life. Order and justice, remember. Balance. Incorporate that in your life. We're going to pass to the Hanged Man. And that means a pause, to make a pause in your life in order to fertilize yourself. You need to be passive sometimes, meditate, rest, in order to see clearer the situation and then move and change. But sometimes we have to rest. In the Toltec tradition, we have the archetype of the deer, Masat, that represents that we have to be patient, gentle, kind. So we need to incorporate those virtues in our life, to be patient in order to fertilize your goals in your life. The next one is the transmutation that we call death. But this death is metaphorical. In the Toltec tradition, we have also Mikistli death. That means memory. Death is going to make us remember the real mission that we are here to accomplish. So we have to clean everything, the things that we have to get rid of and leave behind. It's going to tell us that we have to escape from that starting point that I just told you before, from the devil, from the low frequencies. And remember that we are here for a superior purpose, to becoming a better version of ourselves. Passing through the Xochimilquistli means the flourish death. So you have to kill that irrational being, that zombie, that walking dead, in order to become in that holistic being, connected with the highest consciousness, living with consciousness and from the heart, not from mind. Reborning from the breath of life. And the breath of life is the alchemy of life, that is water and heat is going to create steam that is going to be lighter, and steam moves everything. It's an alchemy. The next one is going to be equilibrium. the temperance. The temperance, that's very simple. It's going to bring you the balance in your life. It's your crystal body. In the Toltek tradition, that we call Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl means evolution. It's the feather serpent, because that serpent now has become in something different. Now it has feathers in order to fly, to ascend. And it has found balance. And now you realize that you are in a higher state of consciousness, becoming that Quetzalcoatl. Evolution. Overcome that wave, transversal wave that is represented by a snake. Every snake in the planet represents waves. But what kind of wave? The transversal wave that decays and is dual, positive, negative, red, blue. Is the density, the illusion, the light. But when you put to that snake feathers, the feathers means beauty, and you're going to change the frequency, and now you're going to change that kind of wave into a longitudinal wave, radiant wave, a different kind of wave, and a spiritual wave that is going to expand, never decays, never death. Amor means no death. Mort in Latin is muerte, death. Amor, no muerte. And then we're going to pass to the star. The star means the revelation. You're going to start to bright with your own glow. The star is the inner glow that connects now with the highest consciousness. And now this being has released everything. Is surrendering everything and fertilizing the land with water. And now we have in the archetype, in the Toltec archetype, the water. Water fertilizes everything. It is telling you that you have to become something lighter, with fluidity, transparency, something superior, pure, to fertilize your life like a star. Surrender to your own energy. And now the revelation is, wow, it's different. I'm fertilizing my life. The next one is represented by the moon. And the moon represents the dream, the lucid dreams. That is telling you that we have to get out of the illusion of the dream that is provoking. The moon is broadcasting the illusion, the matrix, the holographic realm. It's a repetitor. The moon is negative. That's why we say lunatic, because its light is going to feed the physical parasites inside of us. That's why it's transforming humans into beasts, werewolves. That's why we have these two wolves or dogs in this card. In the Toltec tradition, we have the archetype of dog, squintly dog. So the message is very clear. We have to control the beast, and as soon as we tame this beast, we control this beast, this wolf is going to become in a dog. The dog is representing the inner child, innocence, fidelity, is loyal. So that we have to be aware of that. We have to defeat the influence of the moon, controlling our dreams, because by dreams are inserting inceptions, programs. So if you are not aware of that, they are going to control your subconscious mind by the dreams. It's another trap. So that's why we have to control the influence of moon, control your dreams, and tame the beast. detoxifying your body, of course, because clean body, clear mind. And the moon is connected with the mind. And the mind comes from the word mente, mentis in Latin, mente, mind, mentira, to lie. So that's why you have to control the influence of the moon. The next one is the sun. The sun represents regeneration. You have to bright again with your own sun, with your own light. And then that's the way, the portal to connect to the highest consciousness. You are finding balance. And the archetype in the Toltek tradition is the eagle, because the eagle, its fly is the highest one. That's why it's related with the sun, because it's close to the sun. And eagle represents power, sovereignty, and also it controls everything, and it has the best vision from above in the animal kingdom, and has domain of the terrain in 360 degrees. So the sun is going to empower you, encourage you to take control of your life again with wisdom from your inner bright, connected to the highest consciousness. And the next one is the judgment. There is the recreation. It's a reborn through the sound. That's why you have the trumpet that represents sound frequencies, the right frequency. Now you change the frequency of your life, and now is resurrecting the true being that we really are. So this is the time that we have to be happy to be in this state of consciousness, and is representing by flower, Xochitl. We in the Toltec tradition we said in Xochitl Inquicat. That means flower and the chant, because the chant represents sound and flower represents beauty. So you have to incorporate into your life beauty and the right frequency. Move with the right frequency, the resonance state. So the adjustment is going to adjust to the resonance state with the right frequency, and now from your heart is going to emerge a beautiful flower that is going to give its perfume, and that perfume is your actions in coherence. Where is coherence? Think well, speak well, and act well. Move outside well, in one direction. Be coherence all the time, using the right frequencies, respecting your worth. And that's why we call Xochimilquistli, that means the flourished death. And also the flourished war, in order to flourish. Like the lotus flower, this is the real message of this. The lotus flower is going to teach you that it can be surrounded by a swamp or dirty waters, but this flower is going to flourish all the time. So the message is very clear that learn to be here in the tonal matrix without be part of the tonality matrix. Don't fall in temptations. Control everything now. And the last one is the world, is the success, is the cosmic consciousness. Now this being now is free. This being has gotten rid of everything. Now is free, is in another stage of consciousness. Is the success of the life, and also is going to teach you that you have to see the life as a game and enjoy this game with joyful, with love, with arts. Like Toltecayo said, turn your life into art. the art of good living, the art of living balance. That now you are the magician. You are the driver, not the passenger anymore. You can co-create everything here. You can project your own reality, and now you're responsible. You are not victim anymore of the circumstances. You are in another frequency now. You are moving your fitting point in every frequency that you want with consciousness from your heart, not from the mind. You're controlling the elements around you, and you're protected with your Merkaba. That is a Merkaba made of sound, no light. And now you can escape from this video game once and for all. Escape from Jumanji, from the first card that we started. That's Jumanji. The monkey. That's Jumanji. And also we have the monkey in this archetype in the Toltek tradition. Monkey means that, a game. Be innocent, like a child. Don't take seriously the life. Take seriously your self-transformation, but not the materialism and the concept of the matrix, the paradigms, dogmas, beliefs. No, create your own game. And now you're responsible because now you know the instructions of this game. You're going to start to play as you want, co-creating everything. Now your perception is wide. And also you can use your inner senses. Television, telepathy, telekinesis, biolocation, extraocular sight, and all the things that we used to think that is supernatural. No, they are here, but they are asleep. Now you are in the cosmic consciousness, and you are this multidimensional being. And then it's going to take you to the beginning of the card of Fool. That is not Fool, is the highest consciousness, connected with your Nahual, your essence. And that's the path of the self-transformation through the tarot and the Toltec archetypes. I hope you enjoy it. And remember, this is a path of practice and self-experience. Becoming a Toltec, a human being, everything creates from its heart. And also, experience by yourself everything. And be aware that you have to kill that Jumanji character in order to become this multidimensional being, and order to escape from this simulator called holometrics realm. So, Pasokamati Ometeo.